Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now I recently put a video out that showed how you could use your Cricut or any cutter to make a card holder for these little gift cards that a lot of us are giving out for Christmas, for birthdays, for graduation. Well, on today's video, I'm going to use the scrap wood left over from this project, particularly this black wood. I'm going to use it and some natural wood, a laser, and I'm going to make another gift card holder. So if you are interested in watching that, stay tuned. Now you could do this on an Afero laser, an X-Tool laser, or a CO2 laser like I'm going to use, like a Glowforge. But before I do the project, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing that, and then click the bell and select the all notification. That way YouTube lets you know anytime I upload new content. Now I just published a video on YouTube today and it was of this project and I did it with my Cricut on cardstock. Now I'm going to do something different but similar today using a laser. And a lady named Kay left a comment and she had a great idea. So I think this might be what she was talking about. If not, it's probably similar. But it's something that after I read her comment, I thought that's a great idea. Let me give it a try. So I downloaded the file and when I did, it came in with these types of files. I'm going to use an SVG, and the one that I'm going to use is number 3. It's the same one I used on the other video, but I did take a reindeer off of SVG 1. Now I'm in Inkscape, so all I'm going to do is drag this right on over. I just use the default settings, so I'll say OK. All right, just like last time, it came in huge. Let's go ahead and lock the proportions and start with 12 inches wide. Okay, so unlike last time, first let me go to Object and Ungroup. Unlike last time, I'm not going to use this at all. And then I'm going to get a fake little gift card. Let's make that a little darker. To see the measurements, I have to click right here on the Select tool. And that's pretty close. I'm going to change it to 2.25 wide. And then it needs to be around 3.5 tall. That's close enough. This is just to put down in here so that I can use it to resize my gift card holder. Now I want to resize those at the same time. So I'm going to click on this side, hold the Shift key down, add this one to it. Now with the proportions locked, I can just drag this to the size I think it needs to be. Now in this design, the little U-shaped thing, that's a spacer. You're going to see how that comes into play in just a little bit. This is supposed to be the top, and then I got rid of what was the bottom. And let me show you why. Okay, so first of all, I want to play with this design. I'm going to blow up my screen a little bit. Now I want to get a square, so I'll click on this, and then let's just draw a square. And I want my square to cover over the snowflake, but I don't want it to go outside the line, so that might be a tiny bit too big. I'm going to select both of those, and I don't know if this will work yet. I might have to change one to a path. Let's say Union. Okay, it did work. It fixed it. So now I have a solid surface. That's exactly what I wanted. Now for the back of the design, or the back of the holder, let's just go ahead and duplicate this. So Command-C for copy, Command-V for paste. But I want to do something slightly different. And this is where Kay's comment just struck me as that would be a great idea. Hopefully it's what she meant. All right, so I have this. I don't want this cut out, and I want it to be a little bit taller than this side. So I'm going to duplicate this again, and then I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to flip it vertically. Let's just move this out of the way. Okay, so if I put it like this, let's select both of those, go over here to Align, and let's align the center. Now that looks perfect, but what I need to do is I need to go up here and weld those together, or use the Union feature. So on mine, the back of mine is going to be a really light wood color. Then the front. Well, let me go up to Object, Raise to Top. All right, so the front is going to be the black, and of course the spacer will be in between. We'll go ahead and change that to its right color. Okay, so this little red line built into this design, that little red line is a stroke. I don't want that. Let me go to Fill and Stroke, click on Stroke Paint, and you can see it does have a stroke. I'm going to click the X to make that go away. Okay, now the last thing I want to do is put a hole here and a hole here so that I can tie a ribbon or something in there. So I'm going to get my circle shape, just make a little circle. Let's see what the size of that is. I think I want it to be about 1/4 of an inch in diameter. So let's unlock that. So 0.25 and 0.25, and that's a good size. All right, so I'm going to lay it on top, do Command C for copy, Command V for paste. That is not what I wanted to grab a hold of. Let's push that back. Okay, so I want to move this circle to the other side. Almost looks like a smiley face now. Let's move those up just a little bit. Then with this one selected, I'm going to hold the Shift key down, grab this other one. I'll go back to align. I want to make sure they're straight across from each other. All right, now they are. So I'm going to go up to Object, Group. Then I'll hold Shift key down and add this back piece to it. And then I'll just center that all up. Now I could leave it like this and I could just make sure this is grouped right on front there, but I can also cut it out. So let's see if I can hold the Shift key down, add that to it, and go Path and Difference. All right, so I think I have to convert these to a path first. So with them both selected, I'm going Path, Object, Path, Object, Ungroup, and Path and Union. Okay, now it's a true path and I can cut that out of the bottom layer. So I'll hit Shift and add that to it, go to Path, and say Difference. And that made my holes. Now the last thing I need to do, like I said, I grabbed this from another file, and it's going to be a light wood color. Let's just put it on the front. Let's see, I'll raise it to the top, and he's way too big. So with the proportions locked, let's make him smaller. Now I'm going to place this on my wood, so it doesn't matter where it is now, it's just a cutout. But in the end, I'll probably have it a lot like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and change the color of the reindeer to the same color as the other two brown pieces. So with it selected, I go to this dropper tool, and then just click on the color I want it to be, and then move off the page. All right, so here is my file, and I'm going to go ahead and separate the different layers. Then I'll save this and open up the Glowforge software. Now that I'm in the Glowforge software, I'll say Create New Design, and then I'm going to go ahead and upload the file I just made. All right, now what you see now is this just laid on top of the last picture I had of the screen. I'm working on some leather things. So let me turn the Glowforge on. That'll refresh, then we can figure this out. All right, so I'm going to go right here to Unknown, and I'm going to say Use Uncertified Material, and then I'm going to put in 0.11 for the thickness. Then for this piece, I'm going to say I want to cut it. I'm going to add some manual settings since I'm not using proof grade material. And I'm going to go with a speed of 250 and full power. Now we'll go to these three things. Again, I'm going to say cut. And once again, we'll go with 250. That might be a little bit of overkill, but it'll be okay. And full power. Now, I don't know what this is. Nodes or something, so I'm going to go to those and I'm going to say ignore. All right, so let's see how long this is going to take. I just click right here on print. So here's all my parts and pieces. And I tried to cut it out of this, and I was really upset when I realized I hadn't pushed record on my iPad. Then I was even more upset when I realized I didn't have enough power and it didn't cut all the way through. I might have been able to force it through, but then it was going to have splits and all that good stuff. So that gave me an opportunity to actually film the next part. So the next time, I still used the same blackwood. I had it cut twice instead of once, and I decreased from 250 power to 200. So that cut out fine. And then I used the switch that I got from the Dollar Tree store. I like to use things like this for little projects. They're inexpensive, they're thin, they just work really well with the Glowforge. So this piece fell right out. Let's go ahead and take the masking paper off the front, and look how clean that is. This piece came out. Now, I didn't really need to mask it because it's not even going to show other than the sides, but I did. Then my black piece goes on top. And then I think the reindeer will come out easily. It's just sometimes with little cuts like this, you just have to be really careful. See, it's cut through easily. But with so many little cuts, they get kind of stuck in there. Hopefully I don't break any of those off. If I do, it'll be okay. He'll just have one less antler. We'll pretend like he got in a fight. All right, I think the easiest thing is going to be for me to break this whole thing apart first. Oh, and he came right out. And I think his antlers are all there. Now there's a little bit. Oh, no, it came right out too. It's just wedged in there. Okay, so let's get him unmasked. Look how clean that is. When you use that masking paper, it just really comes out nice. So here's my design, and then you can put this together with whatever means you have. For me today, I have this handy. I use this double-sided tape. It's from the Dollar Tree. I used it on my Cricut gift card holder. And here's the one I did for it. I think it turned out super cute. Hopefully, all right, fits down in there perfectly. So let's put this thing together. Move him out of the way so I don't break him accidentally. Now you could use glue, but look how thin that is. That is super, super thin. And this is super, super strong. You could use a 3M double-sided adhesive as well. But for today, I'm just going to use this. This is just a temporary little project. I don't need it to uphold a lot of wear and tear. All right, so I'm just going to cut some strips of this. And then I'm going to put them on the side and the bottom. Now it's barely showing through, but this is going to be on top, so you won't see it. And there's not enough that it's going to make the gift card stick in there. So I'll just go with that. And then I know that side was a tiny bit too long, so let's go ahead and cut down this side. Now the other thing is, if you wanted to paint these or maybe put some adhesive and glitter on them, you could do that too. Decorate them however you want. This is just going to be a nice little rustic gift card. Now I don't have to worry about the tape coming together exactly. I just need to have the wood held together enough that the card's not going to slip through. All right, now that I have all this in, let me take off the backing, which will expose another adhesive side. Then I'm ready to lay it down on the back piece. Now this is very, very sticky tape, so don't push down on it until you know everything's lined up exactly how you want it. And then these sides will bend a little bit, so push it so that it's even with the side of the back, and then put some pressure on it. All right, there we are so far. Now let's put the front on. I'm going to use the exact same method, and so I'll just fast forward through this part. All right, so just like before, I want to line these up. So I'm going to set mine with the bottom of it flat on the table, and this one as well. Now I feel like the little liner thing, or the spacer thing, wasn't down as far as it should have been. So I can either use some black marker, some black paint, or try to peel this thing off. Oh my goodness, that is really, really stuck. Okay, this is not going to fall apart. Is it perfect? Nope, it has a little light brown line right there. I'll fill that in with something. They probably would never even notice. It really wouldn't matter. Let's make sure the card fits in. Falls in nicely. So let's put the little reindeer on. And all I'm going to do is put a piece of this double-sided tape across his belly because it is sticky. That's going to hold it just fine. Now be careful, you don't want to put any pressure on these guys, any uneven pressure, because they are skinny. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually have scored lines on this to show exactly where to put it. Wasn't that big of a deal to me. Just going to hover it above it, and then when I like where it is, I'll just go ahead and let it drop down and put pressure on his belly. There we go. And that is not going anywhere. Okay, so the card fits perfectly. We are good there. So now I just need some ribbon. I think I'll put a little bit of red on here. Spruce up the color some. This is pretty thick. I do not own a lot of ribbon. I'm not a big ribbon person. I wish I were. That mean I'd be a little fancier, but I'm just not. Now I've trusted this tape so far, so I'm just going to use it. All right, I'll pull that up as far as I can and just stick it down. Perfect. All right, and there is our card holder, super cute. Just another way if you want to use your laser instead of a Cricut. They're both cute, both pretty easy to do. So whatever strikes your fancy, try it out. So thanks so much for spending time with me today, and until my next video, bye-bye.